So guys, what's going on? I hope you guys are well. I hope you guys are staying safe. I hope everything's good wherever you are. So guys, Demetrius Andrade, was, we've all know that Demetrius Andrade is a fighter that, everybody thinks is avoided. And he has been avoided to some extent, especially in the middleweight division. However, I will say, before I get into the video, smash the like button, give this video, smash the like button. I put up a Terence Crawford and Porter video earlier on. Smash the like button on that as well, please. And just support the channel. Share the vids as you guys always do. What I wanted to say is Demetrius Andrade has criticized, I won't say criticized Canelo, but he said in an interview that Canelo made history, but he gave him a kind of a backhanded compliment, saying that, he became an undisputed champion in the weakest division. Firstly, I think Demetrius Andrade hasn't really got a leg to stand on when it comes to weak whatever, because Demetrius Andrade's resume is very, very poor. Now, he can blame and say that no one wants to fight him and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, the reality is that his resume is not great. So for him to criticize Canelo, I find really bizarre. And then for him to criticize Canelo and say, well, he became undisputed in the weakest division in 11 months is absurd. I'll tell you why. Canelo Alvarez beat Callum Smith, Billy Joe Saunders, and Caleb Plant. They were 3 undefeated world champions, right? They were 3 good fighters. Now, the fact that Canelo is far better than everybody else, that doesn't mean he's fighting weak champions. They were good fighters. They were all 3 decent fighters. I'm not saying they were elite fighters, but they were all 3 decent fighters. Now, what do you expect? Like, even if Canelo was in the 160-pound division, people would say the same thing. Charlo Andrade, he's already beat Golovkin. Yeah, Golovkin's a tough fight for anyone. But apart from Golovkin, Charlo and Andrade aren't proven. What have they done? So the point I'm trying to make is, in around his weight class, there isn't really many guys that are proven, bar Golovkin. It's all perception. It's all, oh, well, we think that guy's good and we think that guy's good, but none of them are proven. Charlo's not proven. Andrade's not proven. So the point I'm trying to make is that I don't see why people always seem to find a way to criticize Canelo's resume. And here's another thing. Let me name 2 other undisputed champions, Crawford and Josh Taylor. Josh Taylor fought Baranchyk to win his world title. He then fought Regis Prograis, right? Who was a decent fighter in a very close fight that I personally didn't think he won. I thought it was a draw. Then he fought Ramirez, right? Are you honestly trying to say that Baranchyk, Prograis, and Ramirez are better than Billy Joe, Callum Smith, and Caleb Plant? Because I don't think so. And by the way, Taylor didn't have easy fights with any of those 3 guys, by the way. Canelo destroyed these 3 guys. And I personally think Canelo's fighters that he fought was tougher than Taylor's. And it was definitely tougher than Crawford's, But one thing I'll give Crawford respect is Crawford also dominated his competition at 140. But he didn't do it as quickly as Canelo did. And like I said, Canelo's competition was tougher. So when Andrade says that Canelo did it in the weakest division, I find that absolutely absurd, because Canelo actually fought 3 decent fighters. Those were good fighters. Trust me. Billy Joe, Callum Smith, and Caleb Plant are 3 good fighters. They're no bums. They're 3 good top fighters. So to say that they were, it was the weakest division and all that kind of nonsense, trying to downplay Canelo's achievement as an undisputed champion is absurd. And I'm not just talking about Demetrius Andrade because he said it in his interview, but other people are saying that as well. Well, oh, he did it in the weakest division and this, that. Teddy Atlas mentioned that. I find that absurd because Billy Joe, Callum Smith, and Caleb Plant are 3 very good fighters. I'm not saying they're on Canelo's level, but they are three very good fighters that would give any other of the other fighters a hard fight. Caleb Plant would give Charlo, Andrade, anyone a very hard fight. He'd give any of those guys a hard fight. Maybe not Canelo, but he'd give any of the other guys a hard fight. Canelo, like I said, he can't win. No matter what he does, he gets criticized. And you know what? You know what really frustrates me about all these people that criticize Canelo? Eddie Reynoso has come out and said that, you know what, he's considering Benavidez, Bivol, Charlo, Artur Beterbiev as his next opponent. He didn't mention Andrade. But look at the names that they're mentioning that they're going to look to fight next in May. Look at the names that are being mentioned. All tough fights, all big names, all of the guys that you guys want to see Canelo fight. Canelo's discussing all of those guys. Bivol, Beterbiev, Charlo, and Benavidez. And if he fights Benavidez, I don't want to hear that, oh, well, Canelo's ducking this, that, and the other. You know, because that's absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. If Canelo decides to fight Benavidez, that's it. I don't want to hear any kind of nonsense because this will never end. This will never end. If he fights Benavidez and beats Benavidez, someone will say he's ducking Andrade. Or he's ducking Charlo. These things will never end. It'll never end. Like he beat a guy. Firstly, people were saying he was beating up Euro guys. Now he beat Caleb Plant. And there's another excuse. So there's excuses after excuses after excuses when it comes to Canelo, rather than actually giving him his credit for what he's achieving. I think it's about time these people that are criticizing actually understand what Canelo's doing and actually appreciate that Canelo's not going to be there forever. He's not going to be around forever. So appreciate it while he's here, because there's not many fighters that give us the fights that we want to see like Canelo. Canelo is fighting all. Listen, Canelo has become undisputed in 11 months. That was a goal. Now, Canelo, what he's going to do, he's going to look to add to his legacy. So all the fights that, that he's mentioning, they're all going to add to his legacy. And that's what Canelo's trying to do. Canelo ain't going to take no more gimme fights, in my opinion. Canelo is looking to add to his legacy. He's looking to make a name and put his name in the history books. So when guys like Terence Crawford and, Demetrius Andrade say, well, Canelo gets to pick and choose his fights. He has power. We can pick and choose. That's because he's earned that. He's put himself in that position to do that. You haven't. He's made himself that cash cow. He's got a following that allows him to do that. Crawford and all these guys don't have that. They don't have that star appeal. Andrade especially not. Because Canelo's put in the work by fighting tough competition. Demetrius Andrade, I believe, is he fighting this week or next week? Like, this is the thing. Nobody even knows. When Canelo's fighting, everybody knows. 5-6 weeks in advance. Because it's big fights. Unfortunately, with Andrade, he's fighting these guys that nobody really wants to see him fight. Nobody wants to see him fight Quigley. And I'm no disrespect to Quigley. Quigley's a good fighter, but the point is nobody wants to see Demetrius Andrade fight Quigley. So to criticize Canelo and say, well, he did it in the weakest division, that's just like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. People just don't give a guy that's, I don't know. I just feel like you're picking why are you having a go at someone like Canelo who's become undisputed in 11 months, but then not have a go at fighters that are not fighting anybody, that are just holding a belt and they're just fighting these guys ticking out. I don't understand. I don't understand why people You know, it's hardly Canelo's fault that Benavidez missed weight. If Benavidez was a champion, Benavidez would have got the shot against Canelo. And by the way, Canelo's already naming Benavidez as a guy. Benavidez is actually front runner to get the Canelo fight next. So he's hardly afraid of these guys. And the names that he mentioned, Bivol, Beterbiev, Charlo, Benavidez, all of these guys are very, very... These are the fights that we want to see Canelo win. So, you know, I don't agree with Andrade, but that's his opinion. What do you guys think? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. And guys, remember to please like, share, subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.